Okay, y'all, so we are about to make this white chicken chili, and I'm going to start out with the Cajun two-step Cajun seasoning, and I'm going to put that on. I have here, I think, 4 boneless chicken thighs, and then I had 1 breast in there, and I just split it in half to use both thighs and breast. And then I'm going to use the oregano leaves, and we're going to add some of those to that chicken. And then I'm going to add my ground cumin. I love cumin in my chili. It doesn't matter what kind of chili it is. I just love my cumin in there. And this one is so hard to come out. It just come out like a little bit at a time. I have to keep tapping it because I'll be like, come on, cumin, I need you. I love cumin. So then we're going to use this Badia roasted garlic powder. I love my Badia roasted garlic powder. I don't even use regular garlic powder anymore. I only use the Badia roasted garlic powder. And then we're going to add this onion powder. Gotta have some onion powder on these old thighs. Then I'm going to use my Badia sazon. So I'm going to add some of this sazon to these chicken thighs and breasts. I love this on my chicken. I love it on my shrimp. I love the Badia sazon. So we're going to add some of that on there. And then we're going to add this chili powder, this guajillo chile powder. So we'll add some of this chili powder to it. Give it a little bit more oomph to it. Since it is chili, I mean, gotta have a little oomph to it. So then we're going to add a little of the ground white pepper. I love ground white pepper. So we'll add a little bit of that. Then I gotta add my extra virgin olive oil, Calabrian chili pepper with roasted garlic. You know how I feel about this. You already know. We done talked about this several times. I love it. And I gotta get me some more. I love it. So yeah, so we're gonna mix these chicken thighs and breast up in here and get them nice and coated and try to get this season. I got to give me some more gloves. Just trying to use these tongs, baby. I need my gloves so I could get down off in there, So, but we're going to have to use what we got right now. We don't have no more gloves, so we're going to use what we got, these tongs. Then I had to go back and I forgot my smoked paprika, so I had to add me a little bit of smoked paprika in here. Then we're going to go back again and we're going to get them tongs and we're going to work it. Get it all nice and coated and try to get that seasoning incorporated everywhere on those thighs and those breasts. Well, that one chicken breast that I put in there that I made into 2. So yeah, we're getting this all seasoned up nice and good. And then we're going to just sit this over here to the side and we're going to let that just kind of marinate a little bit, cover it up, and just, let it marinate, let it do what it do. Then we're going to try to do some cleanup. So we're going to try to get this stuff out of the way and put these seasonings back in the cabinet. And, I be trying to clean up as I go along. Put stuff back, and, baby, sometimes it be hard because when I be in a hurry and I'm tired because I was supposed to do this way earlier today. And, I got to wipe these counters down with, where I had that chicken sprayed down with a little Clorox cleanup and get it wiped down. And, yeah, I be trying to, kind of like do stuff as I go. I try to get in the habit of doing that instead of waiting until everything is done. So, yeah, because sometimes I come in the kitchen and, baby, it be a hot mess. But I clean it up when I'm done, and, it is what it is. Got to kiss the messy cook. So I'm going to put the cutting board back up here so I can cut up my veggies now. So I have my celery, and then I have this onion, yellow onion. You can use yellow onion, white onion, purple onion, whatever onion you want to use. Just put you some onion over in there. Just make sure you get you some onion over in there. So we're gonna chop up this celery. Get that all chopped up, and then I go through all of this with the celery, chopping that up, and then go through all of that with the onion and the bell pepper and all of that. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you sitting up here manually chopping up this stuff when you bought like one of those little the electric vegetable chopper where you just put it in there and press the little thing and it just chop it up. And then I have the other one where you just lay it on top of the little grater thing and just put the thing down and hit it and it go through the thing and drop in the little tray. Got one of those too. So now why you tell me I didn't just use that? I can tell you why, because it was all the way in the back of the cabinet, and then the electric food chopper was still in the box. And who didn't feel like getting it out and washing it? No, I wasn't about to do all this. So I said, you know what, just go ahead on and put it up yourself. I had to put my glasses on because, baby, that stuff was shooting up in my eyes. So I had to go over there and get my glasses and put my glasses on. I should have had them on anyway, but I went and put my glasses on so that stuff wouldn't be getting all in my eyes, all that onion juice flying around everywhere. So we're just going to get this cut up. And we're going to, get this all chopped up. And I want my vegetables to be nice and, chopped up pretty small. So. And then we got the bell pepper. I'm using red bell pepper and orange bell pepper. I kind of got to the point where I'm kind of not really, I'm not going to say I don't like green bell pepper. It just depends on what I'm cooking. So for certain stuff, I don't really like green bell pepper in it anymore. Some stuff I love green bell pepper in. So it just kind of depends. So I get that cut up real nice and small, and then that extra, we're going to put it in the bag with them onions, because we don't throw away no vegetables around here. When we have extra left over, we put it in a Ziploc bag and we put it in the freezer, and we're going to use it when we get ready to cook something else, because we don't throw that away around here. We do not. So I got everything cut up here. This is what I realized. Ooh, I'm out of my olive oil. Ooh, you see how I looked and shook that? Like, what in the world? So I got to go get me some more of that olive oil, because maybe I'll tell you, I use that stuff for everything. Everything. So I'm just going to substitute and add me a little bit of avocado oil in there. Just a little bit. And so I can brown my chicken. Trying to mix my chicken up over there. Then I drop 3 pieces over in here. And we don't want to cook it all the way through. I'm just going to let it brown for a few minutes, maybe like about 3 minutes on each side. Because I'm going to, I finished cooking it inside the broth. So I just wanted to brown a little bit. Take that out, baby. When I tell you that stuff, I need to get me some of those splatter that you put over the stuff whenever you're cooking. Keep it from splattering everywhere. Because, baby, when I tell you stuff be all over the stove, anytime I'm frying anything, I'm like, you need to get you one of those splatter things that you put over it when you're cooking. Well, yeah, so we're going to add the other pieces of chicken in there and get all them little pieces out. We don't want no chicken left behind. So we're going to put this chicken over in here, and we're going to go ahead on and we're going to brown these other 3 pieces. Like I said, I have 4 thighs and 1 chicken breast. So we're going to just let this chicken finish browning. So we're ready to take this chicken out now, and we are going to get all of this out of here, and then I'm going to, I don't know why they left them 3 little pieces in there, but so then we're gonna cook this onion, bell pepper, and celery. Gonna saute that and all that goodness at the bottom of that pot. See all of that good, look like it's burnt, all them good, as they calling them, good drippings at the bottom of that pot. Yep, all of that right there. We're gonna, all of that, we need all of that, and that good oil that's seasoned from that meat, and then all of that on the bottom of that pot. Just, yeah, look at that, look at that, look a yonder, look a yonder. So yeah, so we're going to just saute these onion, bell pepper, and celery. Let them get all nice and tender. We're going to add just a little bit of, well, you know what? We didn't even really need to add no broth to get all that from the bottom, because them veggies was sweating and got all that, just all that stuff came up from the bottom. Look there, just look there. Just look how all that just came up and just absorbed into all those bell peppers, onions, and celery. I could think of a whole lot I could do with that right there just by itself. I could think of about 2-3 other dishes that I can make with that right there. I got to look and see if I'm still recording, because I'll be done press pause. Then we're going to use a little bit, just a little bit of this pink Himalayan salt. We ain't going to do much. We just going to go crack, 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 and that's it. Bap, 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 and that's it. That's it. Because you know this pink Himalayan salt is not that salty. So we just, hit it with a little bap, 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 and that's it. That's it. And then we're going to stir it up and get this nice and mixed up. And then we're going to add this reduced sodium chicken broth. We're trying to cut the sodium, the salt, where we can, because we got other stuff. We got that seasoning on the chicken, and then, other stuff that we're going to put in here going to have sodium in it. So we're trying to cut our sodium where we can. Now, it was still flavorful and delicious. But yeah, we have to, well, I have to anyway, because my blood pressure been down for 2 years, and that's where I want it to stay. I don't want to have to get back on no more blood pressure medicine. So we're going to add this chicken back in here, because we want this chicken to cook and absorb all of everything, to just, we want to absorb the flavor into the chicken. We want the chicken to get all in the broth, and yeah. So we're just going to add that back in there. Excuse me, y'all. We're going to add the chicken back in there, and we're going to let that just kind of saute and finish cooking. And I think I did let that chicken simmer. It wasn't like cooking really high, but I just kind of let it simmer in the pot for maybe about another 30 minutes, simmering really, really low. Because, once I put everything together, I'm still going to let it cook, for a little bit. So we're going to let that simmer now. And I was only gonna use like 4 pieces of chicken. And I said, you know what, girl, you better put all that chicken over there, and did, because what you was gonna, I thought it was gonna be too much, and I said, some said, girl, put all that chicken in there. That is not gonna be too much chicken, and I did just that, and I'm so glad that I did. So just look at them in there, just swimming around, and yeah, just singing and just happy. hmm And it was smelling so good in there, y'all. Smelling so good in there. So we're gonna add this corn in here. I tried my best to find some of the frozen roasted corn, but I couldn't. And when I was pouring it in there, I said, well, for this to be roasted corn, it's a very few pieces that's roasted in here. I said you could have just used that bag of frozen corn that you bought and maybe threw it in the skillet and kind of roasted it up a little bit, and and threw it on over in there. But yeah, that's how come I use that reduced sodium chicken broth. So next time I'll go back to my frozen corn, and I just didn't want to go to HEB. And now I'm going to use these diced jalapeno peppers. I was going to use the fresh ones, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to try these this time. And it was really good. It was really good, which another reason why I used the reduced sodium chicken broth. So, and these were really good in there. So it really gave it a really good flavor. And I didn't want it to be too spicy because I knew I had used a lot of other stuff too. So, and then I did add some diced green chilies in here. I don't know how I ended up editing that out, but I did use diced green chilies in here as well. So I got jalapenos and the diced green chilies, corn, and then of course the celery, onion, and bell pepper. And then I put the chicken in here, and I'm gonna let that finish cooking. So now I'm gonna take the chicken out. I'm going to take the chicken out, and it's okay if some of the corn and all of that is stuck on there. It doesn't matter, because I'm just going to take it out and shred it, and whatever's on that plate is going to go right back in that pot. So, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay if it's some still on there. It's all right. Because now this chicken is done. And it's nice and tender. Mm-hmm. And just shake it off. Shake it off. It'll be okay. Because now we're going to shred this chicken up. And then once we shred that chicken up, we're going to add that chicken back over in there. So we're going to add this cream cheese first. So I just got a regular block of Philadelphia cream cheese. And I don't know why I always want to leave like a little piece of something in there. Like, oh, that's going to be too much. Girl, why did you leave that little old bitty piece in there? But I'm going to add it in there. Girl, just add it all in there. But we're going to shred all this chicken up. Get all that nice and shredded. I'm glad I used the variation of the chicken breast and the chicken thighs. I like the texture that it had. It was really good. So we're going to melt this cream cheese in here. We got to let that, melt down and get everything all mixed in there. It was smelling so good, y'all. I was like, man, I can't wait till this get done. So we are going to add the rest of the chicken in there, or to add the chicken in there, not the rest of it, because I haven't put any chicken in there. So we just adding everything, all of that back in there. See all that corn and the pepper all going right on back in there. All of it. We don't want to leave nothing. And then this is when I realized, girl, go on and add that little piece of cream cheese back in there. Why you gonna leave that little piece of cream cheese back there on the counter? Just all sad by itself. Mm-mm. I know it looked like it's gonna be real greasy, but I promise y'all, whenever it was done, it was not greasy. I mean, it's uh with everything that you add in there, I mean it's a little greasy, but I mean chili is, it is kind of, especially with everything I use with the with the cream cheese and everything. But whenever everything got done cooking, and it was not greasy at all. It was not. So just trust me. I mean, you can probably, when you do your chicken, you can use a lot less of the olive oil if you like. Then I'm gonna add my white kidney beans in here. I'm using the Goya, the cannellini kidney beans. So we're adding those in here. I just used 1 can. And like I said, I know it looks like it's greasy, but once everything kind of like cooked all together, and it was so creamy, it was like I said, it was a little greasy. Of course, I kind of, I like a little grease, so I probably shouldn't have it, but it was perfect once everything kind of like just everything cooked together, and it wasn't greasy. It wasn't greasy at all. But like I said, if you cook this, you cut out whatever with the olive oil and whatever. You don't have to put as much. You don't have to put any at all. And then I'm just adding a little bit of black pepper in here. So if you make this, you just kind of, tweak it how you want to. Because once everything just kind of, cooked together, I let it cook for like about a simmer, not cook. And then I added a little bit of heavy cream. Not much. I didn't do much at all. Probably not even, it wasn't even, oh Lord, it wasn't even a fourth of a cup. It was less than a fourth of a cup. It was very little. It looked like I put a lot in there, but I really didn't. I didn't put a lot in there at all. So this is probably the more unhealthy version of the white chicken chili. But it's not something that I make all the time. I might make it maybe once or twice during the winter when it's cold. Well, I don't even make it twice because I make so much that, I have enough for next time. So then I added a little bit of the Better Than Bouillon, the roasted garlic one. I'm sorry, I was out of frame. But I added a little bit of the Better Than Bouillon, the roasted garlic, and I only added like maybe a half a teaspoon. Maybe a half a teaspoon. It wasn't much on that spoon. It was like just a little bit on the tip. And I just added that in there. So if I felt like it needed a little bit more, not so much as salt, but just like a little bit more. I don't know. Sometimes I just taste my stuff, and I just have to kind of just get it to where, but yeah. And then I know I'm out of frame, but this is the Tony Chachere's no salt. So this is no salt, nothing in here. It's just seasoning. I love the Tony Chachere's no salt. I always try to keep that in my pantry. So I added that in there, and yeah, gotta stir it up really, really good. And again, I lost one of my clips, so I didn't really get a chance to show you after it had like simmered and cooked for like about another 20-25 minutes. I don't know what happened to that clip. I think I accidentally deleted it when I was trying to load everything from my phone to my computer, so I do apologize for that. But I do have like a picture in the end, and then I added some black beans. I wanted to add some fire roasted tomatoes so bad, but I said, you doing too much. But I really wanted to add some. I thought that would be so good in there. Next time I probably will try it with the fire roasted tomatoes in there, but I didn't this time. I just added the black beans. And y'all, this was so freaking good. When I tell you this was good, it was so good. And here it is, a bowl of white chicken chili. It was so good, y'all.